No timeout. Everyone running to Curry. There's 3 Kings there. Gets it to Draymond, down to 5. Klay Thompson at 3. Klay for the win. Good!
I told you. Klay Thompson is still out there. If you want to take Steph away, they got another killer.
Don't forget, you got another Hall of Fame shooter on this team, Klay Thompson.
Well, so much for being underdogs. I'm pretty sure the Warriors' cover's blown at this point. After Klay Thompson's gut-wrenching finish, surely everyone knows what the Warriors are capable of doing. I've explained string theory to a 10-year-old, but somehow, I just can't seem to explain winning basketball to a fan base that hasn't won a legitimate championship in the last 10 years. It doesn't mean they don't know ball, they just don't know how to do it while winning. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Swish Culture. The Warriors have gone up 4-1 to start the regular season and 15-5 on the Kings over the course of their last 20 matchups. The Kings Twitter, now the Kings X. No, we're not talking about LeBron's former side piece. Has been noticeably quiet these days. I suppose after coming up 1 possession short of getting the W and an 0-2 record to start the season versus Golden State, there really might not be much to talk about. While I won't speculate any further on their aspirations, the Kings are still a formidable team that shut down LeBron and AD with the revamped Lakers. Although what does that mean nowadays? A couple of meaningful developments, however. Those close games seem to be favoring the Warriors with the new second unit. Last year, the Warriors were 9-38 in games decided by 5 points or less. This year, while it's still a small sample size, they're 1-1 in such games. But the good news is that the team is much better than last year's and should avoid many of these situations altogether. Despite playing without Fox, the Kings put up a tough fight against the Warriors in their second matchup of the season. Playing against a team coached by Mike Brown is likely going to be difficult for some time. The Kings have played 3 teams so far this season, going up against the Warriors twice, blew out the Jazz, went to overtime with the Lakers, but for some strange reason just can't seem to get past Golden State. Arguably, things might have gone differently with De'Aaron Fox, but they had that opportunity before and it didn't make a difference. Despite winning by only 1 point, a win is a win, and the Warriors' record is now 4-1, and the Kings' record is 2-2. The Warriors' record currently ties the Denver Nuggets, who played against a team with 0 wins. And also got their backs blown out by the softest big man in the league, who's teamed up with a guy who couldn't beat Corey Joseph in the World Cup. The Warriors have yet to be blown out by any team. The only team ahead of the Warriors is the Dallas Mavericks, who've played against the Bulls, Spurs, a team with 0 wins, and the Nets. Which of these teams are making the playoffs this year? The Warriors, on the other hand, faced a team with the best regular season record in the West last year and beat them twice. Snatched the barbecue chicken out of Zion's lunchbox and only lost to KD and Booker by a couple of points on what's likely to be the team's worst shooting night for the rest of the season. If you dislike the team, you can say you dislike the team, but try as you might, you can't dislike me. Just remember this: swish, don't miss. While I wasn't expecting the Warriors to struggle against the Foxless Kings, it isn't at all surprising. Both teams are coached and play in a very similar manner. Mike Brown knows championship basketball and is building a culture in Sacramento. They've got a talented player in Domantas Sabonis who's an all-star with an impeccable inside game. Not many 6'11 guys can handle, pass, and inhale rebounds like this king. Keegan Murray has the record for the most made threes by a rookie, has playoff experience, and is obviously going to be even better this year. Harrison Barnes, for all the disrespect he's gotten for 2016, not only is he an NBA veteran, he started all 6 games of the finals when the Warriors won the championship in 2015. The man is certified. Malik Microwave Monk is a very dangerous spark off the bench, and the Red Velvet Kevin Huerter was leading the league in three-point field goal percentage 50 games into the season last year and ended up shooting 40% on 6.8 attempts per game. This is without mentioning what All-Star De'Aaron Fox brings to the table. The second Kings matchup of the season does what every NBA game should do, and that is to keep you at the edge of your seat. The Warriors came out hot to start the first quarter, going on a 12-3 run. Draymond started out hitting threes on back-to-back attempts, and the Warriors started force-feeding Wiggins a bit to get him in the flow of the offense. Unfortunately, the Kings started getting to the line and ended up returning the favor, going on a 12-3 run to end the quarter and take the lead. Saric couldn't find anything in the paint to save his life as the Kings mobbed him down low, although his jump shot did look a bit better early on. Referee Jenna Schroeder made the most obvious bad call on a charge on Kuminga that was reassessed as a blocking foul and an N1 bucket. The second unit managed to close the gap, allowing Steph Curry to enter the second quarter to a tie game. The scores remained mostly in lockstep for the rest of the quarter. The Warriors got partially stuck as they were unable to find an angle at first, but in the last 3 or so minutes, tricked the Kings no less than 3 times with the same inbounds under the basket move to get an easy layup. The move was adjusted just enough so that when the Kings caught on, the follow-up had one additional factor unaccounted for, whether it be a decoy or a screen. For the second half, I was expecting the Warriors to come out and ice the game. After all, Fox isn't around, and the Warriors are a third quarter team. Seems obvious, right? Yeah, that didn't happen. The Kings somehow turned into the third quarter Warriors and started cooking. Everyone was firing and connecting. The lead ballooned to double digits, and it looked like the Warriors were about to get blown out like Monica's birthday candle.
Damn!
That is, until Keegan Murray fouled Steph on a three-point attempt, after which the chef grinned and proceeded to sink every last one at the free throw line. The Kings fired back, but the chef, already in comeback mode, dropped a 27-foot bomb. Chris Paul and the reinforcements came in and a stalemate ensued as both teams locked each other up for the next 2 minutes with no one able to strike a blow. The Kings were up by 6 and conceding here would give the Dubs the momentum into the fourth quarter. If the Warriors let up and the Kings continue their run, they might as well call it a night. Saric was stuck in first gear as the Kings bomb rushed him in the paint. From the 6-minute mark in the third quarter to the 4-minute mark, no one could land a blow. Okay, I've got to think of a different word. Out of the dust, one bright spark emanated. CP3 switched up the offense and hit JK for a midi jumper. This must have clicked as CP3 remembered that Saric is a shooter, and even though he'd struggled in prior games, he hit a few in the mid-range earlier. Who am I kidding? CP3 doesn't forget. So this duo, CP3 and Saric, ran the pick and pop and absolutely decimated the Kings, opening up their defense as Saric hit 2 big threes to tie it up. The Kings, however, responded, and they went into the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead. Why the Suns let go of Saric and CP3, I will probably never truly understand, because the Warriors' second unit went into the fourth quarter with absolute vengeance. With CP3 conducting the orchestra and Saric shooting in tempo, they made quick work of the Kings, going on a 7-0 run. During the run, Coach Mike Brown made attempts to resolve by replacing McGee early with Sabonis and putting his starters back in early, but it was futile. The Chris Paul-led offense had no chill. It wasn't until Kerr took CP3 out and replaced him with Steph Curry that Monk was able to force his way into a foul at the 8.5-minute mark. This allowed the Kings their first bucket of the quarter. From this point forward, it was a death match in Chase Center as the team switched leads back and forth all the way down to the last few seconds. The Kings knew what time it was. Well, they thought they did. The Kings went up 1 with 15 seconds to go, and leaving Curry open for a shot was not an option. But damn it, they forgot about Klay.
Well, nowadays, everybody wanna play like they got something to say, but nothing came out when they moved their hips. Just a bunch of gibberish. As a matter of fact, they just forgot about Klay,
who took the pass, drove right into his signature patented fall-away elbow jumper, and with 0.2 seconds on the shot clock, ripped the Kings' hearts out and shredded every ounce of dignity this team had left. The game was over. Despite dominating on the boards 48-36, despite getting to the line at a 150% clip compared to the Warriors, despite more field goal attempts and less turnovers, one of these teams had the Splash Brothers, and the other team didn't. As bad of a night as it was, the Warriors still finished with an impressive 32 assists. Credit 8 of those to Chris Paul, who only had 2 points in 28 minutes, which without his ability on both directing the offense and on defense locking up Harrison Barnes and forcing a turnover on a player 8 inches taller, the Warriors likely wouldn't have won that game. Steph Curry finished with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He was truly off-kilter with 7 turnovers, where the Warriors finished with a total of 18 for the game. If the team can win a game on these statistics, there's literally no excuse not to win 81 games this season. Okay, maybe that's a little too optimistic. The goal is to win a title, and that requires a healthy Chris Paul. Saric, outside of his in-the-paint turnovers, was fantastic, putting in 15 points and 6 rebounds in 20 minutes. Once he figured out the problem, those timely threes were worth more than their actual point value, so a big nod to Saric for the work he put in on the Kings. Despite going 6 for 15, Klay hit the shot when it mattered the most, and he also had the highest plus-minus with a plus 10. Klay finished with 14 points and 3 massive blocks to go along with a clutch shot that the team desperately needed. While Draymond was somewhat overshadowed by Klay's shot, he in fact had a pretty good game, putting up 13 points and 9 assists, going 4 for 7 from the field and hitting 2 of 4 from distance. Kuminga was solid with 12 points in his 17-minute campaign, and Moody had a quiet night offensively, missing his 3 field goal attempts and making just 1 of 2 free throws in 15 minutes. The rookies, TJD and Pods, along with Corey Joseph, did not see the floor in this matchup. What this tells me is that while Kerr likes what they bring, the game was too close for him to take a risk, and he still believes there's risk involved with these 3 players that did not play in the Kings game. The insanity is that this team isn't even anywhere near their best performance. Steve Kerr is obviously still tinkering with lineups. If Wiggins becomes even half of the player he was in the championship year, there won't be a single team standing in between the Warriors and another title, except the Warriors themselves. Let's see if the Warriors can snatch up a couple of W's this weekend. What team do you think is the worst matchup for Golden State? Post your thoughts in the comments below, but before that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish!